There are ways to become accident prone. And that's what I'd like to talk about today. And this by no means is something that you want to hang your hat on. This is just me talking about it in a certain way. There are many, many, many ways to talk about this. But this is one way that I can kind of gather some thoughts together, give you some things to think about, and put a little bit of organization to the things that come at us as seekers. And I put it into these categories: the 4 cornerstones, the 5 strategies, the 6 habits, the 7 resolves, and the 8 side effects. And these are all pointing towards what can we do to become more vulnerable to grace, to become accident prone. First cornerstone, and these are none of these things are in order. I didn't number them on purpose. They're bulleted instead of numbered because there's no priority. But if I was going to give a priority to one of the cornerstones, it would be prayer. And by that I just mean an open line of communication 24/7 to whatever you consider as a higher power. It's not Christian prayer. It's not anything else like that. For a lot of us, the word prayer has been a 4-letter word for most of our lives. It's get down on your knees and pray for your Auntie M or whatever. Fuck that. That's not it. This is, you want to be in communication with some kind of higher power. We know, or we've just talked about the fact that it's not up to us. We can't do it. I can't do it. I need help. Help from what? Some kind of a higher power that can do it. Whatever kind of word we put to that. The great intercessor, whatever. Pray for help. And I think I could turn this computer off and stop right here, and it would be enough. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and it shall be opened. This is all you need. But it's too hard. It's too hard to do just this. We have to do more. We feel we have to do more. And there is more that can be done. But this is the core. If you're not constantly asking for this, your life is showing that it's not your priority. And this higher power, it says, I can wait. Let me know when you're ready. And when you're ready and you ask for it, and you ask for it in the right way, hang on to your hat, because you'll get it. Self-inquiry. This is a natural instinct. I hear a lot of people, they say, I don't know how to do self-inquiry. Well, it's a natural instinct. We all want to know who we are. And these are just some little notes to myself here, but little magazine quizzes, that you answer 10 questions and it tells you something about yourself. People love that. They tell me something about myself. Astrology, tell me about myself. This is my sign. So that's what I'm like. Oh, that's interesting. Facebook quizzes. You see, what kind of flower are you? And they take the test and it tells you what kind of flower you are, and they're so proud of it they post it. I'm a daylily. And the Enneagram is another thing that people go to find out about themselves. These are things that have been well set up. A chief feature, Gurdjieff's chief feature, that we all have a chief feature, and we're very interested in knowing what that is. There's something out there now, human design, which is a kind of a spin-off of astrology in the sense that you tell them your birthday and where you were born, and they'll tell you something about yourself. But these are all external mechanisms by which we seek to have somebody else tell us who we are. But that's not really what we're up to here. We want to find out for ourselves who we are. So self-observation, self-honesty, self-inquiry, that we just do ourselves. Me to me, me to the higher power, who am I? Who or what am I? That's the crux of self-inquiry. We have the impetus naturally to want to know ourselves. But what's the best way? And is it enough to know that you're a daylily, or do you need to go deeper? I actually created what I call the identity attributes matrix, which has 38 or 40 different human characteristics. And my idea was that you for each of those, you think about it very, very hard and rate yourself 1 to 100 on it. And the point isn't what your score is. The point is how hard you have to think, whether you're a 58 or a 62. You know, you have to think about these things. You know, how audacious am I? How humble am I? How generous am I? And so it's a way of getting in there and identifying things about yourself. Now, that's what I call small s self-inquiry. That's who is this character? Who is this perceiver that we talked about earlier? And that's the small self-inquiry. The big S self-inquiry is, who am I really? And then's when you ask the big questions. What's really going on here? Who or what am I? And that's the capital S self-inquiry that we need to do when we're in the business of trying to find out what the truth is. In the end, of course, you find out that you're everything but what you thought you were. And no matter how much self-inquiry you do, what you're defining is what you are not.